Hello, my name is Ed, and I'm going to do this YouTube video about how to feed your dog a species appropriate diet. And what that means is a raw diet. There are three kinds of people who feed their dogs kibble. The first group contains people who just don't know any better. We all start in group number one. They've only heard about kibble. They don't know anything about the raw diet, and Wall Street has told them that this is what you feed the dog. So this is what they feed their dogs. Okay, so that's group one. Like I said, we all start in group one. Group two, this is an interesting group. They've heard about kibble, they've heard about the raw diet. Some of them have even investigated a little bit. But in their minds, they are convinced, and like I said, Wall Street has them food, they are convinced that this is better than raw. Common sense and science says no, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but they actually believe that this is the best food for your diet. Now keep in mind, this is fast food, this is processed, and it's little extruded chunks of a bunch of stuff. Think about that. Okay, the third group. This is an interesting group. The third group of folks who feed their dog processed kibble are people who understand their common sense. They understand the science. They know that raw food is better, but they feed kibble anyway. Maybe they think it's too hard. Maybe it's inconvenient. Because remember, this is fast food. Just like when I go to McDonald's, that's fast food. So they feed kibble, processed food, in spite of the fact that they know the raw food diet is superior. Now, before I get into this, can your dog survive on this? Absolutely. Absolutely, your dog can survive on this. Will your dog thrive on this? No. No. This is not what nature intended your dog to eat. And the dog food I'm showing you now, Royal Canin, this is actually, quote, a pretty good dog food as far as kibble. But that's like saying Burger King is superior to McDonald's. It's all the same. It's just not what your dog was meant to eat. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you a link to a veterinarian by the name of Karen Becker. She has a 3-part series on feeding your dog correctly, and it's excellent. I don't need to go into as much detail as she does because she does it better than me, and she's obviously more of an authority than I am. But I've been feeding my dogs raw food for 10 or 11 years, and like I said, if I didn't say it, the second part of this video will be me showing you what I feed my dogs, where I get my food from, how much they eat. I'll also tell you what I recommend you not feed your dog and how to start. I'll also show you my dogs eating the raw food, and I'll also show you the next day the gifts that they leave for me to clean up. But that'll be in the second part of this video. Okay, so I talked about this being fast food. It is. It's fast food. My health is probably not as good as it should be because I've been eating McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken and fast food and potato chips and snacks and boxes of this and boxes of that all my life. And as you see, I have survived, but I doubt that you could say I thrived. I think if you feed your dog, you have a responsibility to feed him a diet that nature intended him to eat. A species appropriate diet, which is certainly not this. So let's look at this. And this has an expiration date of, it's in French, so I don't even know what it is. But this is what you're feeding your dog if you're in one of those three groups. Ingredients: chicken byproduct meal. What the hell is that? Byproduct meal? Okay. Corn. Dogs don't need corn. They shouldn't have corn. And some studies believe that we shouldn't even have corn, but that's another story. Brewer's rice. Chicken fat. Okay. Brown rice. Natural flavors. Pea fiber. Wheat gluten. Dry plain beet pulp. Fish oil. Vegetable oil. Sodium something aluminate. Calcium carbonate. Salt. Extract. Vitamins. Acetate something. Vitamin E. Sorbic 2, polyphosphate, biotin, roxidine, hydrochloride, decalcium, something, and a partridge in a pear tree. Why? Your dog shouldn't be eating this. It really shouldn't. Now, like I said, can your dog survive on this? Yeah, your dog can survive on this. But will your dog be thriving? Absolutely not. So let me talk about a few myths about the raw food diet and how Wall Street has your food. Remember, Wall Street, these are our friends. Same folks who got us alcohol, same folks who bring us cigarettes, same folks who bring us Twinkies and all that other stuff we eat. Your dog, and many people believe, is an omnivore. No, he's not. Your dog is a carnivore. He is a meat eater. Doesn't mean your dog won't eat a banana split if you give it to him. Doesn't mean that your dog won't chew on some grass. Doesn't mean your dog won't eat a banana. He will. But his best diet is meat. Meat, bones, innards. He is a carnivore. That's not me saying it. That's the scientific fact. It's also common sense. Look at your dog's teeth structure. He's got large fangs in the front. What do you think those fangs are for? They're not for this. Okay, he's got a powerful jaw. Speaking of the jaw, his jaw is locked, meaning his bottom jaw does not move side to side. It opens and it shuts like a vice. Okay, he does that for a particular reason, because when he grabs onto that rabbit or that whatever, he's got to clamp it down. He's got strong back jaws. Okay, he doesn't chew, he chomps. Okay, omnivores, herbivores, we chew. Our bottom jaws, our bottom jaws are not locked. They go side by side. Look at our teeth. Okay, mine are not good. They're flat. Okay, how wide can you open your mouth? Not very wide, because you're not going to go out there and catch a rabbit and bring it down. A dog, for the size head he has a tremendous range. His angle range is tremendous on opening his mouth, because he's got to open his mouth and latch on. Before I knew about the raw diet, I used to train protection dogs, and it just marveled how they could chase that big sleeve, because we wore a padded sleeve and it's pretty big. And that German Shepherd could open that mouth and grab that sleeve and hit it and hold. I'm thinking, how does he hold his mouth open that wide? Well, nature set him up that way because he is a carnivore. He is not an omnivore. Get that out of your head. He's a meat eater. Omnivores and herbivores have a certain enzyme in their saliva that when they take a bite of something, that enzyme is breaking down that carbohydrate, that food right away. A dog does not have this enzyme in his or her saliva. Digestion does not start in a dog's mouth. That's why he chomps, he swallows, okay? Digestion is going on in here. His GI tract is nothing like ours. It's very short. He's got strong gastric juices that can handle large amounts of meat and bone, and they pass through him quickly. He's not set up to handle veggies, carbohydrates. Think I'm wrong? Feed your dog some carrots. He'll probably eat it. Feed your dog some corn, and he'll probably eat that too. And follow him the next day, and you see what he processed. He didn't process any of that. It came out pretty much the way it went in. And so that's why this corn, brewer's rice, beef pulp, It's pulverized so your dog can halfway handle it. Okay? It's processed, it's heated, vitamins are added. This is bad stuff. So is McDonald's. But you know what? Hey, we've been taught that fast is right, fast is correct. Processed food, it's simple. It's the best thing your dog can have. But this much, I'll tell you. All kibble, all processed foods, they're all the same. Some may be a little bit better than the other, but it is not the best way to feed your dog. It's not the correct way to feed your dog. Now, let me tell you what else Wall Street does to you to get you hooked. It says raw food diets are not balanced. But this is. That's true. If you feed raw incorrectly, it is not balanced. But let me tell you a secret. A dog's diet does not have to be balanced every meal. Think about that. If you get a bagel and some coffee and you go off to work, was that balanced? No. But for lunch, you might get a sandwich and a salad. I don't know, maybe a glass of wine. Dinner, you might have some vegetables, a steak, some potatoes, or whatever. A dog's meal and our meals are not balanced with every meal. A dog's diet has to be balanced over time. You can't feed your dog. I feed a lot of chicken backs and chicken leg quarters. You can't feed that every day, day after day, day after day, and your dog's diet will be balanced. There's something else I do to balance my dog's diet, but your dog's diet does not have to be balanced every meal. It's ridiculous, but they tell you, oh, this is balanced, and the vets will tell you, oh, this is balanced. Get that balanced out of your head. That balance is a myth. Dog's diet does not have to be balanced every meal. You have to balance it over time. Now, if you want to balance your dog's meal with every meal, you can. I could feed chicken backs, some tripe, maybe a piece of liver. I can do that every day, and I'll balance it. It's not necessary. You don't need to do it. You can if you want to. My notes. Okay. All right. I think I covered everything I want to tell you. We talked about balancing. Your dog's diet doesn't need to be balanced every meal. Common sense will tell you that if you just look at this food, it's not what your dog should be eating. So the second part of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I feed my dogs. I'm going to recommend types of foods that you could use that are easy to find. I'm going to tell you the tools you need, because obviously to do anything right, you need a certain amount of tools. You need a freezer. If you breed and you have puppies, you need a grinder. And I'll tell you and even show you mine. And I'll show you how my dogs, you'll get to see them. So hang on to get ready for part 2.